Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. I watched a Property Brothers HGTV. I told you I'm hooked on these shows, right? Watching all that stuff. Property Brothers. You know what they had on there? They were doing this thing called Celebrity IOU or whatever, and Kevin Hart wanted to do something nice for his trainer because his trainer helped him. I did not know this, but years ago he was in a car crash and he helped him to start walking again and helped him to get better. And so on his wall that these guys, they made him a proper man cave. He had a house in the back of his house and he was gone on vacation. They surprised him with this do-over. And of course, it's very beautiful and gorgeous. But they had a quote of his that meant a lot to Kevin Hart. And the guy's name is Ron something line. I put it in it's going to be in our next quote deck or the one after that. I'm not sure, but it's there. And it was this, that you get your mind straight. Your mind, what is it? Oh, shoot. I can't even remember. Well, Jenny, you remember it. I just put it in there. And it's just basically, if you get your mind straight, your body will follow. It's your mindset you got to work on. Because we have it all wonky-dory. We have everything all over the place. And we have all the reasons why we can't do things. And we have our whole set of, our whole slew of garbage in our heads that, there it is, just train the mind and the body will follow. That was a cosmic 2x4, and he had it done with neon on the wall. Just train the mind and the body will follow. And that is the absolute truth. That is the absolute truth. Because when you're training your mind, if you've got your mind trained, then there's no question, right? You're not in this like, am I or am I not? You're just doing it, right? Your pinky's up. I'm sprinting. In it to win it. I love that. So this week we've decided, let's take excellence on, shall we? We get wrapped up, I know, we all know this. We all get sucked into this whole idea of making it perfect. I found myself last week, I had a really poor workout week. I had a lot going on and I didn't schedule as tightly as I needed to. And we had friends coming. I had to do all these things. Plus, in between, we've been going and seeing properties and trying to find something for my daughter and son-in-law. It's a lot. And right now, the real estate market is hot. You guys know, right? It's just insanity. So I didn't put everything together the way that I needed to do it, and it was like hit and miss. I got my walks in with the dog and what have you, but my regular stuff that I've been doing. I am an athlete, pumping ironing, getting it all done. But I found myself saying, well, I wonder, really need to do some more research on fasting working out. And then I started thinking, why do I need to do that? What is up with that? Because what I was looking at is, what is the best possible way to do this? What is the more perfect way to do this, to get the better results? And you know what it is? The excellent way is just doing it, right? The excellent way isn't going to sit there and go through all the thing and say, yeah, got to do it this way. If it's not done this way, well, then forget about it. Because that's where I tend to go. That's where my brain goes, because my perfectionistic tendencies haven't all been exercised out. And I mean like exorcism out, not exercised out. That's how I look at it. And I just thought, Leanne, stop it. When does this ever go away? So it rises up inside of you. I believe it rises up inside of you because that is the tendency. That is the tendency. How do I make this even better? Well, how about just showing up and doing it in the first place? instead of discussing it, instead of researching it, instead of doing all of this stuff. And that's when I started to laugh at myself. And I said, yeah, that's why we need to be looking at excellence, because excellence doesn't do that. Perfectionism does, but excellence does not. Excellence says, we're going to get this done. You know, if you have to stay up until 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night doing it, you're going to get it done because this is on your list of things to do. So today, I just wrote this out as I was thinking about that. Excellence always follows determination if you add willingness to the equation. You know, willingness is that key that opens the door. Have you noticed that? There's Denise. Hi, Denise. It is the key that opens the door. When you're willing, so many more options appear. You know, unwillingness. You remember the Get Smart thing with the doors? That's it. Da, 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 da. Remember that? Those doors are shut. And even if the cone of silence comes over your head, it's still not going to help you out because you've narrowed down those options by being such a perfectionist. It takes you out of the game. Whereas excellence opens the door because the willingness says that you're willing to try something. You're willing to do it a little bit different. You're willing to maybe try your coffee black. I've got people who are still pushing up against the coffee thing. Try it black. Listen, if this old gal in my late 50s did it, you can do it too. It is really not that big of a deal. And you know why it becomes a big deal? Because we make it into a big deal. What if we just said, oh, well, you know what? That cream hasn't done me any favors. That cream has been breaking out my skin, or that cream has caused me, I can't lose weight, just stuff going on. Well, there's this thing about inflammation. Why not? Why don't we give it a try? That's the excellent way. Give it a try. Put it down. Lose the excuses. Lose all the reasons why you can't do it. So, you know, we think that we are, in order to get from here to here, we need to have this massive epiphany, like, you know, Paul on the road to Damascus, scales fall off yours, and now I see, and blah, blah, blah. And I think, no, what we need to do is we need to set up our environment for success. We need to start doing daily things and writing out our goals daily like we do in the Take Back Your Life journal. We need to start doing things that line up our environment in a way that says you're supported and that you can change your mind and that you can do all these new things that you want to do. It's not piling on when you've made a decision to change and shift things in your life. It's not piling on. It's recognizing the need to change, the need to fix things, and the need to recuperate maybe, or get back or take back the life that you want, or the life that you want to attain in the first place. That's the trail to vibrancy. That's what the whole thing is all about, is just that little thing. So to me, it's not this great big huge epiphany, but a series of cosmic 2x4s. You know, it's like this one, whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. I have that sitting on my wall, not right now because it's sitting here, but I have that sitting on my wall forever, right across from my bike when I read that. Because when you choose something different, then you can change it. But if you're not changing, you're not choosing anything different, are you? So it's incredible to me that these kind of things, these little cosmic 2x4s, these little quotes can get in your head and just shake you up. Just shake you up. There are so many good ones out there. And this to me is like everything. We need that stuff in us. And, you know, we also need to hold things like, what's it going to look like, with a light grip. Did I remember I told you the story about Peter and his car, finding the car that he was looking for? Well, that's the reticular activating system at work. That was me with the vision board with the house, right? My house didn't look anything like it. My house didn't have the same kind of a dog. None of it wasn't exactly, I wasn't holding on to, it needs to be this exact representation, right? It needs to be, though, something that you're holding dear, that you want to have into your life, and you hold it with a loose hand. You know, that my son did that, and sure enough, he finally got the Honda Element that he wanted, but he had his eyes stuck on this particular one, and we had this, the light hand discussion, and finally the one that he was supposed to get, he got. And he was able to do the trip of a lifetime and go cross country and do all these different things. That's your reticular activating system. You activate it and you bring into your, peripheral, finally, something that you actually want. And the Excellent Way teaches us that we hold it with a loose hand and we allow for it to unfold and to be what it is. And all I knew, house on the water, did it have to look like that? No. But is there a house on the water? Yes. Is it here? Yes. Am I sitting in it? Yes. The Excellent Way is planning for these things. The Excellent Way is saying yes to the things that you want and allowing for it to unfold in front of you the way it's supposed to. But you got to have it in your peripheral, right? You got to start there. And you know what else excellence likes? Excellence likes getting its hands dirty. You know why? Because excellence requires work. It doesn't just happen. You can't sit and allow excellence to come to you. You have to pursue it. You have to go after it. So it requires work. So it's not just inspiration, but it's also perspiration. Ask that to anybody who's ever worked out, right? Ask that to anybody who's ever changed their job or their career. It takes work. It takes perseverance. It takes doing a lot of these different things. But is it worth it? Oh my goodness, yes. It's so worth it. It means everything. And this is what we get to do. And number 2 is we have to choose your future self over your current comfortable self, because that's more excellent. We choose our current self. We love ourselves as we are. And we choose and love ourselves because 1, we're enough. And 2, now we have eyes to see what it is that we want. Not sitting there and putting ourselves down and all of that garbage. We've talked about that. And if you were at Full Bloom in April, that's what that was all about, was talking about being enough. But also then having eyes toward the future of what it is that you want to bring into your life. That's when it starts to get fun. Because we've given up and we've stopped all of that energetic waste of time on focusing on all the stuff that we don't like in our lives and instead focusing on the things that we want. And, it's comfortable because it's what we know. But being a little bit uncomfortable and allowing for this kind of excellence, like I can see my future self. I can see what this looks like. I can see myself in that house. I can see myself driving that car. I can see myself having this job. I can see myself doing that. And we hold space for that kind of energy. And that's where our focus goes. And that's a high vibe thing to do, right? Super high vibe. Doesn't it feel so good? I think it feels amazing when this is what we do. It's a whole different thing. The focus has gone from over here to over here, and you're looking at things completely different. It's a beautiful thing to do. Hey, Gloria, glad to see you. The other thing is it allows that when we follow the Excellent Way and we make this willingness to do it, it takes out the hand wringing. It takes out the worry. It takes out all the overreaction and the silent sulkers and all of the garbage that maybe we'd spent a lot of time on before. I always say that if this is the stuff that you're choosing, you need not apply, because this is not a job for folks who focus their energy on that garbage. You won't have time for excellence. There's no time for excellence when you're worried and just, and calling everybody and making posts on Facebook. The sky is falling. What was that little Penny? What was that? Henny Penny, wasn't it? The little chicken worried about the sky falling. So the hand wringing stuff and overreactive stuff and all that just doesn't work at all. We have to back away from it. And you also know that, right? You've seen it and nobody wants to be around it. It's a lot. And it's all pushed into going the wrong way. But the other thing is that we still desire it, right? But the thing is that we have to understand that if that's something that we want, I mean, talk about a pair of jeans or whatever. That's not all in all. That is not your be all end all. That's your life. But if that's a goal that you have and you want to go after it, good. But, desire doesn't equal deserve. It doesn't. Those jeans you will deserve to go into when you do the work to get into them. There's no magic beans or magic pills. There's no fairy dust to throw on them or just comparing yourself to others and saying, but I really want this. It's back to number one. We got to go get our hands dirty. That's what excellence does. Gets our hands dirty. Inspiration and perspiration. That's why I keep a pair of jeans on the back of my door. That's my inspiration. The perspiration, that comes next door when I'm working out. It just works that way. And it takes a whole lot longer, by the way, when you're a little bit older. I'm just letting you know. Anybody out there want to know about that? So I like to say that there's no participation trophy when you're trying to go the excellent way. There isn't. You're either in or you're out. You're either pursuing excellence or you're pursuing a bunch of other stuff that isn't going to help you out. Maybe perfectionism or just comfort, But the excellent way is neither one of those things. The excellent way says no to perfectionism, and it also says no to comfort. It says get a little bit outside of your comfort zone. We all want to land on comfort, of course, right? But if we're pursuing a new goal, it's going to feel unfamiliar and it's going to be a little uncomfortable. And number 5 that I would say to you about this whole idea of the excellent way is that you're more capable than you think you are. You have the goods for this. Because you want it, that means that yes, you can attain it. Yes, you can. Unless it's something ridiculous, of course. If you've decided, I want to be an NBA player, and you're a woman, but you're 5'2", nah, probably not going to happen. Over the age of 50, not at all. But you could go out and play, find a women's league and start playing and do really well. You know what I'm saying? So we want to always go to the place of, attainable and within obvious range of what it is that we want to do. And if our heart's desire is on something that makes sense and a goal that will, feed our heart, mind, body, and soul, it is worth the effort. And that's what excellence gets to do it. So even when you don't feel like you're capable or that you're able to do it, believe that you are and know that you wouldn't have that desire inside of you if you didn't have it. And I think that this is a call to all of us to check our self-esteem at the door. Because our self-esteem oftentimes is just roped into and sewn into so many things of this world that are going to make us feel crappy, like comparing ourselves to other people or seeing something on TV or seeing these airbrushed photos of women that they really don't look like that at all, Instead, we have to remember who we are and whose we are. And that's where we start and come back to full circle. And that's what we center on. And that's what we know in our heart of hearts, that we belong. Daughter of a king, apple of his eye, fearfully and wonderfully made. In every single way, that's comfort. In every single way, knowing that we have been brought, that's the comfort we need to be sitting in. That's the comfort and the peace that we need to be embodying in our hearts. The rest of it, get uncomfortable. The rest of it, pursue it. Get sweaty over it. The rest of it, it's taking those talents that we have been given and using them up. We don't want to just bury them in the backyard and leave them alone. It's time for us to step out and follow this willingness to be excellent, to let go of perfectionism, to let go of comfort, and instead walk in the more excellent way. What do you think about that? You ready to do that? 5 different things. Get your hands dirty, choose your future self, stop hand wringing and overreacting and all that garbage. Understand that desire does not equal deserve. And number 5, that you are capable even when you don't feel like it. You are 100% capable. Everything that you need is right here already. That is your beautiful self. That's how you were created in the first place. and to be able to bring out those tools, to be able to collaborate with a bunch of beautiful people that love you and care about you. And we have a lot of people that we're praying for right now. And if you're in the Hot Melt Sprint group, you've seen that. So keep all of this stuff in mind as we are pursuing excellence all this week. And tomorrow for Wise Women's Wednesday, who knows? Something new and excellent might be coming out of the woodwork. We shall see. I appreciate you joining me today. Thank you so much for all of that. If this meant anything to you and you want to share it, I am most appreciative. Otherwise, I will see you on the Hot Melt Sprint group. If there's anything that I can ever do for you, don't forget, you just write in an email and I'm happy to help with anything that I can. Pinkies up indeed, Diane. Peace be with you. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.